research team, and today I've got the pleasure of hosting Carlos de Alba, who heads up our US basic materials research coverage that also includes US steel. So in terms of an agenda for today, we've got 30 minutes for the call where we'll cover off. I think we'll spend the first half of the call talking about the outlook for US steel, and then we might spend the second half of the call talking about Steel Dynamics' aspirations to acquire BlueScope's North America business, given that's really topical. So if you'd like to ask a question, you can use the box on your screen and type a question in there, and then we'll do our best to incorporate it into the conversation. With that out of the way, Carlos, thanks very much for your time this evening. Maybe a good place to start is just on the broader demand outlook in the US for steel. Can you sort of comment on your views there for the outlook, and if you could perhaps nuance your response by some of the key end markets like construction and auto? Over to you, Carlos.
Yeah, sure. Happy to be here. Happy New Year, everyone. So look, we see a muted outlook in terms of demand for next year. We have two approaches to estimate demand for steel. One is a bottoms up, and the other is a top down. On the bottoms up, we are forecasting about 0.4% growth in 2026, and on the top down, around 1%. So fairly muted response or setup for the year. In terms of the bottoms up, we looked at what our different analysts or teams in the US are forecasting for autos, construction, machinery, oil and gas, and then we aggregate that to come up with an overall view for steel. And look, the two biggest ones are construction. And when we looked at two things here in construction. We looked at what our economists are forecasting for business fixed investment, which is the GDP forecast, the GDP bucket that measures the investment in plants, warehouses, and offices and whatnot. And they are forecasting that it will be down around